Yo, what up, you guys? I actually wanted to try a different video today. I want to show off all of our hardcore EXP and go down memory lane a little bit, tell some stories to you guys. Hopefully you guys like this video. If you don't, it's okay. We won't make any more of these. And if you do, maybe we'll make a retail version. But I wanted to show you our account, see what we've been doing for hardcore. As you can see, we did not actually get back into 2019 Classic. We did play an actual Classic, but it didn't reignite that spark for me really because... you know, it just felt like I had already developed into a Mythic Raider on retail, and then coming back to 2019 Classic, it didn't hit the same way. But as you can see, for this one character, two characters, and then we hit Bloodsail Buccaneers. This is the first time hardcore happened, and that's what really got me in, bro. As soon as we found the hardcore add-on, that was over for us. And it was crazy because even though I was a Mythic Raider doing Mythic Plus, you know, high Mythic Plus, it felt hard again to level. Like it really was. I died so many times. The two warriors were crazy difficult. I remember one of the warriors, I think it might have been this one, I died in Barrens trying to do the Silithid Swarmers, just cracking the eggs out in South Barrens. And it was like, dude, just not knowing that the Swarmers, little bugs, only had 1 HP. I could have thunderclapped and killed them, but back then I had no idea, right? Also, same thing, Astronar got me on my mage. Bro, right before I blinked away, they got a tap on me and it dazed me, and I didn't even know Astronar was there. Well, of course, like after I ran into it, I was like, oh, of course, right? But dude, it wasn't even on my radar, so we got tapped by the mobs. I think that was the only time we've died to getting tagged by NPCs. And then from then on out, I started using actually a website that shows, because we had the heat map at the time, right? But I used a website that showed like where all the vendors are for specific factions, and I would look at a map for like 5 minutes before I'd enter a new zone. So if I'm going to Wrathy for the first time, or if I'm going anywhere, literally anywhere, Badlands, wherever, I'd pull up a map after this death and look at it for a while and click through like all the different NPC types, flight masters, whatever, and see where all the little blue dots are, so that way we can avoid, because we were horde on this one, so we could see where we could avoid it. It was crazy. And we finally hit 60. The reason why I named it Ton, actually, my wife is named Ton, and Zaryu named his character Shannon because he kept dying, and Shannon is Zaryu's wife. And so I was like, okay, the only way we survive on one of these hardcore runs is if we name our character after our wife. She wasn't our wife at the time. She was I don't even think she was our fiance at the time, maybe. She might have just been our girlfriend. I don't know, But yeah, we named it Ton, and of course we hit 60. We didn't raid on 60. I don't know why we keep doing this. I keep getting like attached to my characters and not wanting them to die. And I hit 60, and then I feel elated, and I don't want them to be in danger. And I need to stop doing that, honestly. That is my big goal for this next character that I'm leveling up. I'm doing a rogue right now. I'm 55, and 54, I think. And I really do think I need to put my characters in more danger, especially now that I have 460s, well, 3 almost 460s about to be and all alive. I feel like I should start raiding, but we haven't raided on any of these characters. We're in like pre-60 dungeon bis, basically, except for this character, because this was solo self-found. You can only do a dungeon once per character on the add-on, so we actually crafted all of our stuff with tailoring. This is the only character I did that with, I think. And you could see we've got all of the like the chest piece for it, the shoulders for it, and the helmet for it. And I had to grind forever in, I think, Teneris to get the herbs, because you couldn't just purchase herbalism, right? Or herbs, because there was no auction house. And we tried a warrior, died, felt bad about it, got on to another warrior to 12, and I think that was the end of our run for a while with Bloodsail Buccaneers. And then Defias Pillager came out. And it was like, because I think with that Warriors, when it finally came out, that people were cheating with the add-on at the high end. And a lot of my friends stopped playing because of it. I didn't care, because for me, I hit 60 on my mage, full natty, doing the full quest, right? Only grouping when we're doing dungeons, and one time per. I did the whole thing, so I felt great about it. So it didn't bother me one bit that on the high-end raid scene they were just cheating with the add-on, but it did with my friends, so it kind of killed the vibe for me for a while. Then the hardcore server came out. We started a rogue, and then we got to 5, and I realized that rogues are best as humans. I didn't know that before, because again, I'm a noob for Classic. I didn't play in the 2019 one, and I was a noob in actual Classic, or a huge noob. We can go over that later. We have stories of that later. I was a massive noob. We never got good in Classic. Right here, we switched to a human rogue. We died. This rogue, so I remember this one, we were in Westfall, and I was 1v1ing a boar, and it was one of the higher level boars, and I shouldn't have been over there, but I was. And I remember he was getting me low, and I panicked, and I was like, okay, I got this. We're going to evasion, and then we're going to run at the same time. So we gouge him, and then we evasion sprint away. There's no reason to evasion there. Honestly, we could have just evasioned and stuck it. We would have never died here. But again, noob, right? So we gouge him and evasion run. He heartbeat breaks the gouge early and then charges me and stuns me down with hitting me in the back because I had turned to run. And by him hitting me in the back, he goes through evasion because you can't dodge from the direct back. So then he just knocks me down and just kills me, like 1 or 2 bites, and kills the rogue. So then I start another rogue. And this one, I was trying to do that rogue quest in, I want to say in Elwyn Forest, where you go and like pickpocket some stuff or whatever, and you're supposed to sneak in. And I thought you had to fight everybody. And so I tried to fight all those mobs at the same time. There's like a little house near a pond or something, and then they all come out and killed me. So died on that rogue. We got this rogue to 16. This was before Self-Found was created, obviously, right? Or else my characters would be Self-Found. And you could do, there was Self-Found. Why was our rogue not Self-Found? I'm not sure. Maybe we were, I remember why. We wanted to use the auction house because our mage was fully Self-Found, right? And so I wanted to feel what it was like using the auction house. So these are actually auction house characters, which I did think was fun for a while, actually. And I'm really glad that I chose a paladin to do it on, because you really need those weapons upgraded ASAP. Because, dude, the paladin, let's go to the next one. The paladin, dude. This paladin, we actually did some endgame dungeons a little bit. You could tell by the dress, but the paladin was so horrible, like 50s and up, with your weapon not being able to be upgraded really. And I leveled in ret, and I should have leveled in holy/prot, and maybe or maybe holy ret, so that way we can get consecration and do more ticking damage, heal ourselves more. I've leveled terribly, dude. It took so long to get all the way up on the paladin. We were so weak. We were losing 1v1s to yellow mobs. It was crazy. But we did make it, obviously. We also had a crazy moment in BRD. We were trying to go all the way. We had already done Emperor Princess twice, I think. Maybe 3 times pre-60. So we were trying to do it again. And we went in there, and I remember I was in a newbier group, and I saw the torchbearer across the entire way. We're talking like the rectangle in the middle, long ways, okay? Where it's like 6 packs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and he's over here and we're over here. So the logical approach is to go around, right? So I'm the healer, and I mark the guy, and I say, hey, I found the torch guy. He's over there. I marked him. And the tank just turns and goes straight into the middle. And I was like, he's already in danger. He pulled like 3 packs right off the hop. And then obviously they're going to respawn behind us. So he pulls 3 packs. It goes into more packs. It goes into more packs. And we end up obviously pulling heal aggro, right? So then we have to bubble, heal. We're trying to keep everybody up. And this is the only character I've actually spent my Light of Elune on. And I think that's the only person that has died, or a couple people that died in my runs with this character, or with me healing actually hardcore at all, maybe, would have just been this one time. And dude, we had a Light of Elune hearth, and I was so like just, like anxious, nerves, everything. And I was in Stormwind, and right next to me was the priest in our group. I think we had a Shadow Priest. I'm not sure why I would play with a Shadow Priest in BRD trying to go to Emperor when we need to go through the gauntlet. But they were right next to us, and they Light of Elune hearth too. It was hilarious. I think everyone else died, or maybe there was a rogue that like vanished out or something. But then we did Taunt. Taunt, obviously our wife. Taunt, play on the word taunt. We got a warrior. This one was cool because our buddies, we actually tried to do a 3-way character where all 3 of us would only play together. I think it was warrior, druid, I want to say shaman, I think. And we were running around together. It was really fun. The whole point of these characters was to like risk everything. Like we would go and pull every single mob. The aggro was everywhere, barely healing me up with some rejuves at level 4, level 5, level 6, that was really fun. But it's pretty hard to get enough time to play together when I work as a teacher during the day and my buddies work at one of them works evening shifts, and then the other one switches between evening and graveyard as an engineer, a train engineer. So yeah, it was a lot. So we only got to 12, but it was really fun. This guy, it was so OP, dude. I named my cat Quill after my cat. And this was super duper duper fun. I think Hunter's one of the most fun classes. I loved the whole pet thing where you're like teaching them claws and bites and stuff. We even got a blue bow, I think. Again, we're auction house on this character. And at that point, we'd already had a 60 paladin. We have not deleted any of our characters, by the way. But yeah, we had the 60 paladin. So we've got the Hunter going. It was really, really, really fun. I wanted more money though. So I stopped playing this guy actually to make money for him, because after I bought the bow and inted all my money and I was 31, I was like, oh, what if I could just have infinity money, right? So I stopped playing the Hunter and we never went back to him, but this was a lot of fun. But we went to the Warlock to get him to 20 so we can get summoning shards so we could go sit in Booty Bay and summon people for buffs. And I thought that'd be sick, but I'm not a multi-boxer, and this is really only sick if you have 3 accounts, because you kind of need to be the summoner and both clickers. Because if you're not the summoner and both clickers, then you have to hire clickers. And I did a couple of times. I tried to hire clickers, and they would be like just people that are just in Booty Bay waiting for their buff. And I would like, they would click a few times, but as soon as they got near the end of it, they obviously wanted to go to Stormwind to get the next buff, right? So then they leave the party and I'd be like, no, dude, what about clicking to summon all these people? So I'd pay them like 5 gold each for the clickers, which is pretty nice if you're just sitting in Booty Bay and you're like a lobby or whatever. But yeah, we didn't make almost any money on this Warlock, and we stopped playing the Hunter for no reason. And the Hunter would probably be 60 if we didn't try to make a bunch of money on the Warlock. It didn't happen. And then we're like, dude, we have to run back the Warrior. And this Warrior didn't count because we were playing this with our buddies, right? So we started another Warrior. This Warrior was goated. I loved this Warrior. I don't remember. Oh, I stopped playing this Warrior because I felt like I was paying for everything, like engineering, whatnot. And I wanted the true Warrior experience. Like, I had fun auction housing it up on these characters, but I was over the auction house. I wanted the true gritty Warrior experience. So we started a Warrior that was, and I don't know, in my head, it's like, it's got to be a Tauren. And you'll see that in the next screen. Is like, I felt like I had to have a Warrior who was Self-Found and Tauren. And it was all natty, and he was a big buff dude with big weapons. So I was like, dude, I'm going to start a Warrior. And then I did. I started over as Self-Found, and then, I don't know, maybe a game came out or something, because that was the end of our run. And then it brings us to Anniversary Realms, bro. This is where we really popped off. We played a lot in Anniversary. 11 characters, dude. Well, a few of them are from streaming, actually. So we started a Warrior, right? Anniversary comes out. Remember, we had just stopped doing the Self-Found Warrior. So then Anniversary comes out after we had taken a break, and we're like, we have to finish the Warrior. So we do our Warrior. We die at 12. I think this Warrior died. We were actually playing with one of the 2 friends that was from the Triple Warrior group. We were playing with Zerky. Our buddy Zerky, he tried to save me. We were running together from Mulgore to the Barrens, to Crossroads, and we pulled one of those packs that had the hyenas and one of the pack leaders. And dude, he tried, I think he was a druid or something, he tried to heal me up. We hamstringed, we tried to kite it out. I think he tried to root some. It didn't matter, dude. He did make it out, actually. So then I tried to level up again, same day. I'm like, dude, don't worry, I'll catch back up to you. So we start this next Warrior, and I forget what the mob type is, but it's like right in the beginning, like if you've left the level 5 zone, right? And you hit level 6 right away, right when you've left that first area and you've gone around the wall. And then there's some camps of, I want to say they're gnolls. I don't know what actual mob type they are, or trogs or something. And there's a rare spawn that can be there. So I'm just like trying to speed go back up, right? We're like only an hour or so in. We're trying to catch up to Zerky. And then we just hit the rare spawn mob, and I didn't notice until I had went in there, pulled him, and he was like, bro, you are not making it back out. So we died on the Warrior, and we started another Warrior. This one, dude, this one was so rough. Every single one of our characters on Warrior that has the Whirlwind Axe, we earned ourselves. So we actually farmed this out, all of the materials, solo Self-Found. Obviously, we can't buy it from the auction house, but I mean, we didn't get carried, right? So we got the Whirlwind Axe on our own. We've got the shoulders. We were trying to get the chest piece, and I think on this exact run, I think we did get the chest piece. You can't see it, but we have the RFD helmet. We've got everything. We're completely kitted. And we got a roach in the final room. In the final room, we got a roach. Go and pull a bunch of mobs. It was over. And I jumped off the top, and we were fine. There was the 2 mobs that come, but they're not elite, the 2 boars or whatever that run. And we went the wrong way, so we went to spiral back up. So if we would have ran out, because we had a few party members alive at the time, right? I think like Mage or whatever, that we could have probably made it out because they would have been rooted there. But the healer and I went around, and because I had the healer in my party, I didn't leave party, right? Because I wanted to be able to be healed with the healer and save the healer if needed, which obviously was going to happen. So we accidentally looped back up. I don't remember if I was leading that or if he was leading that. And I think the rogue vanished out. We went up, and then we tried to jump back down. And by then there was too many of our party. I think the mage probably died. Rogue was gone. I can't remember what else is in our party. And then the healer was like basically dead. We were both almost done. So then I tried to go out the other way, and it was too late, dude. Without the healer, it was over. We did like stick together though. We were both like, we're both making it out, or neither of us are making it out, and neither of us made it out. So I was really sad about this character. We went rogue because we're like, we're not doing that again, right? We're not going to go and die on a warrior again. So we started a rogue, and the rogue was serving us real well. This rogue was pretty fun, but the problem is the warrior dream was still alive. So then I got to 17, no problems on this rogue, but then we went back to warrior, right? And we did solo self-found. Once you get to 60, you can turn off the buff, and you get like a different buff that says that like you did it, hoorah. And what was so sick, so I hit 60 on this warrior, obviously. We farmed up our own whirlwind axe, and then eventually we went fury right at the end there. And prot, we were tanking in deep prot, not fury prot. We were fury for DPS and prot for tanking. We were going to be safe, right? And we went to ask an Orgrimmar where do you go to take off the self-found buff to actually get the like reward, icon next to your buff bar. And somebody's like, oh, I'll show you. So they invite me to a party, and they bring me over there, and I'm like, oh, sick. And they're like, oh, is it off now? And they're like, oh, cool, you have the buff. And then they open trade, and they said, put your weapon in here. And then they gave me fiery. So this warrior is just, again, I should stop doing this, but I didn't do any extra content on this warrior because I was just so elated. This was my guy, dude. You've seen how many warriors we've tried. And so I didn't play him at all after that, but that's how I have fiery on him though, is this fiery was actually a gift for someone showing us how to take off the self-found buff, which is super nice of him. Then we started priest. Priest was OP. I was absolutely loving priest. We was playing with our friend Owen, and that was super fun. He was playing a rogue, we were playing a priest. We weren't actually like leveling up together, but we were just like around the same levels and sometimes dungeoning together. Not all the time, but every once in a while when we could. It was fun. But this is when I kind of stopped playing for a little while. And then I came back, got back into it right before Ultra came out. So I came back at like 33, 34, leveled up a couple of times, having fun again. Ultra came out. I switched to Rogue only because I wanted to start in the beginning of Ultra right off the bat. So we made our Rogue right away in Ultra, and we're still leveling it up. We're 54 right now. We are doing all of the early Ultra hardcore achievements for full experimental Ultra. So when we get crit, our screen goes away. The shroud covers everything, which at the time I don't think it did. Also, my action bars are gone. So all that kind of stuff. So it was really fun doing this. It's still fun. We're going to level this guy up. And then our very first on-stream character was Phantom XD, the druid. And we try to do the achievement. You guys probably saw this part. So from here on, we have YouTube videos of this stuff. But we didn't make it on Druid of the Claw. That was crazy. Spoilers warning, actually, after this point, if you haven't seen the YouTube videos and you want to watch those first. But if, by the way, if you're going to say goodbye at this point, then see you guys later. Thank you for watching this far into the video. But yeah, we got the second Druid. We beat Druid of the Claw finally. We learned. We got better. We got to the Loch Modan cave. And then, yeah, we didn't make it out. So that's that one. And then we are on our current Druid. Hopefully we can make it through. We're going to be doing today Dunmorrow and Westfall. Not Westfall. I always say that. We're going to do Dunmorrow and Elwyn today. And then we're going to level up. And hopefully we can get the Loch Modan achievement done on this character. But yeah, that's our total EXP on the Druid. The only other character is our achievement Hunter. We actually made this character technically before these three Druids, but I just keep moving him down because he's like our backup idea. Like Hunter is probably better for soloing than Druid maybe. And if the Druid doesn't work out, then we have the achievement Hunter, So this guy is going to be like our backup. If this guy keeps dying, then maybe we go Hunter. But yeah, it's been super fun. I appreciate you guys being here for story time. And I had a great time telling you guys about it. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. It's so much fun in hardcore and die less than I do because we die obviously kind of a lot. And I guess not too much. We got some 60s too, right? All right. Thank you so much for being here. Like, subscribe, smash the noti bell. Appreciate you guys watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.